Hey Taurus, while I was connecting with your energy, I actually pulled a card. I pulled the horse animal card. And we'll get into the tarot and astrology in just a moment. But the moment I pulled this card, I immediately felt all of my focus get sucked into my heart. And I just became very aware and present in my heart. And that's what I'm getting with your energy this month. And it's a very steady, forward moving energy with the horse. There's a lot of endurance, there's a lot of power. And there's like this message about the strength of your heart. Your heart is so incredibly strong. And I feel this. And at the same time, I get this sense that there is a lot happening in your life this month, Taurus. We are in your season. And we have an eclipse in Scorpio on the 5th, a lunar eclipse, so there could be some major changes or endings, and especially with relationships or relationship dynamics or just the way that you connect to people one-on-one. There could be something that is transforming there right now. And that would ordinarily be very stressful. Or you're otherwise in a situation that may feel destabilizing or stressful, but you feel very, very centered to me, Taurus. You have a very strong spirit and very strong focus. You're like a laser this month. And you are actually changing in a very, very beautiful way. Because even though the beginning of this month is a little challenging, I'm not going to lie, we have the eclipse in your opposite sign, no less, which can bring out endings, it can bring up some intensity, some really peak energy. We also have Mercury retrograde in your sign, so you might really be reflecting on who you are or, rethinking your identity or sense of self. But when we get further and further into May, there's this turning point. There's this epiphany, there's this aha moment. And we actually have Jupiter entering into your sign. And this is not only bringing you luck this month, but for the next year. Because Jupiter brings blessings, it brings expansion, it brings growth, it brings stability and opportunities. And this is a very beautiful way to kind of come back to yourself. You're coming home to yourself, Taurus. And I really feel like that's what this month is all about. If you're excited for this month's reading, then definitely be sure to hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification so you're always up to date with what's in the cards for you. For those of you who are brand new to this channel, my name is Michael, and I utilize tarot and tropical astrology to intuit monthly forecasts for your zodiac sign. For those of you who are ready for a deep dive, you can find links for personal readings and distance Reiki sessions in the description of this video, as well as links for all of my other social media accounts. So as I'm shuffling the cards for you, Taurus, I'll talk a little bit more about the astrology this month. We already talked about how the beginning of this month is going to be a bit tumultuous. We have a full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio. This is actually the last eclipse in Scorpio of this cycle that we began over a year ago now. We do have one more eclipse kind of in this axis. It's actually going to be in your sign in October, and this could be a major turning point or really like a profoundly new beginning for you. But it feels like there's already something that is shifting now that's kind of hearkening to that time. I feel like there is a very strong spiritual pull for you. And it's kind of already been there because we've had the North Node in your sign. That's the thing that kind of indicates where the eclipses are occurring. It's still going to be in your sign, even though we're kind of shifting between cycles right now. And it's like this last push, this last wave that is moving you forward. We have the Fool that is actually coming out first. And it's like this brand new beginning, this new sense of self. I also get beginner's mind with the Fool. So it's like really making no assumptions about anything and just going into everything with a very open mind, like you're experiencing it for the first time. And maybe you're even doing this in your day-to-day life. Maybe you are even just observing yourself having breakfast and seeing how you actually enjoy or what that experience is like eating the food you're eating. Just as an example, but I feel like you're being very, very present. We do have the Four of Cups and the Six of Swords here as well. And another message I'm kind of getting with the Fool here, especially with these cards, it's like there's this move forward that you know is what you need to do. Like, I feel like, Taurus, you know what you need to move forward to, and you've been afraid to do it. And it's like, now is the time, and you're like, ah, shit, I guess I gotta do the thing. But it's actually something that's very aligned. And it's like, you're not fighting yourself anymore. You're not resisting where life is trying to take you anymore, where the universe is trying to take you anymore. Seven of Pentacles in reverse, because I feel like a lot of you have put in a lot of energy or work into trying to make something work that just hasn't been, working. And you're kind of acknowledging, like, yeah, this really isn't what I thought it would be. This could actually be involving a relationship for some of you. Let me just clarify. Why is the Seven of Pentacles in reverse? And the reason I say that is, again, there is a lot of focus on relationships for you, but it's like there's something that's changing in a relationship that's making you really commit to yourself, ultimately. Like, it's not even about another person, funnily enough. Seven of Swords, Seven of Pentacles in reverse. It feels like someone is saying one thing, but then they're doing another. This could potentially be like a deceptive energy, although that's not the first thread I'm getting with this. I'm really getting this predominant current of, like, I'm actually feeling like someone could be spending money in ways that they're not being completely honest about. So maybe you're supporting someone, or maybe someone is actually trying to financially exploit you. That could even be a job. It doesn't actually have to be an individual. There's multiple ways that this energy or these patterns could be manifesting. But it feels like you're seeing the effort and energy you're putting into something, and it's like it's not doing or going where it's supposed to. And we have the Ace of Cups. It does feel like it's about a relationship to me. But again, it's not even that, because it's like you are just like, you're ready to be loved for who you really are. Hermit in reverse, maybe coming out of a period of isolation. Maybe someone wronged you in the past or really manipulated you and took advantage of you. I really get, like, took advantage. Like, someone took advantage. And maybe you had to close your heart off. And, like, I also get this sort of thing. I'm almost hearing this where it's like, oh, but I spent so much time and so much money or so much of my energy trying to make this work. Maybe if I just go a little further. Like, you've not wanted to move forward. You've not wanted to let something go because you were so invested in something. But that's almost like the lie or the trap that keeps you where you are, that keeps you kind of stuck. And it's prevented you from really opening your heart up to what the universe is trying to give you. And you're done overthinking things with the Nine of Swords in reverse. You're getting out of your head. I'm really honestly just getting this sense, Taurus, like, this is the month that you're doing things you don't necessarily even want to do, but you know that you need to. And it's kind of this willpower, this determination, this horse energy. And it feels like you've been using your willpower or determination to kind of swim upstream or to try and go in a direction that's not really flowing for you. And you're like, I just need to go in this direction. I can't fight this anymore. And that actually brings you a lot of blessings and stability. And it's almost like being in that state of surrender. And it's your time to shine. It really is. And not just this month, but really the next year. Jupiter is in your sign. You are becoming very, very lucky. And part of this growth and expansion, it's like kind of making other things fall away. You know, I often see this in my own life and with my clients and just in general. It's like when someone's about to have a glow up, there's like that dip. You know, before a big wave comes in, the tide kind of recedes. The water kind of shrinks back. And then there's a huge momentum forward. And that's what I'm getting. I'm really getting that for you, Taurus. You're kind of in this like withdrawing, and then there's this rush forward. Anything else for Taurus? The Hanged One. Interesting. You might feel stuck, or that you've been stuck, but it really is this energy of surrender. And in this state of surrender, you see things as they really are. And the things that once gave you anxiety or worry or even sadness, they don't hit you the same anymore. There's a perspective shift. There's a perspective shift. And I think you're seeing things very clearly. You're finally accepting the things your intuition has been trying to tell you. And you've even been trying to like deny or repress, or you're like, oh, I'm just overthinking this. I'm just being worried about this. Like, I can't prove this. But it's like you kind of know deep down, like your intuition has been giving you guidance this whole time. And you're finally flowing with your intuition, with your spirit. And it's almost like you're being carried. It's like you're letting the universe carry you with the horse. You're riding on its back. And things are actually getting a lot easier for you. And I don't think this is even just one area of your life. It just feels like overall, like you don't want to fight so hard anymore. You want to go in the direction your energy, your spirit, your higher self, the universe, God, whatever, is trying to direct you towards. And it's all about speaking from your heart. And it's like, that's the energy. That's the very centered energy I'm getting for you, Taurus. It's like, you're just saying what you feel, and it's not even about trying to make other people act differently or feel differently. You're just being very authentic. And part of that authenticity means making peace with where you're at and like who you are, and like it's like being honest with where the energy is taking you right now. And that's what I mean. I was saying at the beginning, it feels like there's something very significant shifting now, and it's like later on in this year, in October in particular, like that feels like a really powerful time That's like the next move, the next phase. And it's like right now you're just in this place of like admitting something. You're in sort of a transition. And you're committing to yourself. And I think that's a very beautiful thing to do, not only around your birthday, for those of you who have your sun in Taurus, but also around this new moon in particular on the 19th. This is a very stabilizing energy. The moon is actually exalted in your sign. So there really is this very solid coming into yourself, standing very solidly on your feet. And again, like coming back to your heart, speaking from your heart, the nightingale. Like, and it's not angry. You're not lashing out, Taurus. And it's not even about speaking it to other people. You are listening to what your heart has been trying to tell you about your life, about your relationships. And that scared you for a long time. But honestly, it's like when you finally listen, when you finally receive it, Taurus, it almost feels like it's not that big of a deal. It's like you're getting ready for this leap of faith with the Fool. Like you feel like you're going to jump off this cliff and it's this huge, scary thing. But when you actually do it, when you actually listen to yourself, when you actually come back to yourself and commit to yourself, it's like a 2-inch drop. You're like, that's it. This is the thing I've been afraid to acknowledge. This is the thing I've been afraid to admit to myself, or the change I've been afraid to make. Excuse me. And I just keep hearing, yeah, it's really that simple. It's really that simple, Taurus. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's like you're simplifying your life. And I think those are all the messages I have for you this month. I am definitely getting some throat stuff. So it is like listening, or it is speaking, but it's also listening. And when Mercury is retrograde, sometimes it's hard to communicate, sometimes it's hard to get your point across or to find clarity. You will get clarity. You will get clarity. But you first have to listen to your own truth before other people can hear it or receive it. Excuse me. Okay. I will leave off there. I hope that this was helpful. I hope this gave you some things to think about. I have links in the description box down below for personal readings or distance Reiki session. There's also a link for donations for those of you who feel so called. But really, any way that you support this channel, I greatly appreciate, whether that's a like, share, comment, subscribe, hitting the bell. All of these things help this channel grow. It helps me continue putting out these messages for all of you. And it really is such a gift. So thank you for that. I will see you all in the next video. I'm sending many blessings your way. Take care, Taurus, and happy birthday to those of you who have a birthday this month.